Well, here goes nothing. Today's September 1st. It is officially my birth month. And it is, I think it's National Suicide Prevention Month or Men's Suicide Awareness. I actually don't remember. Suicide Awareness Month. I guess Suicide Prevention Day is September 10th. But I told myself that I was going to start making videos eventually. And what better time to start than right now? Let's move this over here. Makes it a little better looking. I have stuff queued. I have videos planned, and I have stuff kind of in files on my computer, but I've never actually taken the time to sit down and put them all together. So I don't even know if this sounds any good, but I have lots of goals, especially for the channel. I want to talk about finances and life and work and business and education, history. Kind of just go over. Roommates talking. I w- but I want to kind of just go over my struggles, especially with athletics, running track, getting hurt, dealing with injuries and stuff, and then you know struggling financially and working my way through that, obviously with help, with work, and then starting to get back into investing. Talk about my experience with investing, 2020, 2021, COVID, GameStop, all that sort of stuff. What I'm up to nowadays in terms of what stocks I'm holding, options I'm trading, potentially getting into futures in the future. I don't know. I've always dreaded the day I actually start talking into a camera, but I think this will all go good. Music, travel, hiking. I have a 360 camera that I just got. I want to, start taking it with me places, go on trails, camp, just do some fun adventurous stuff. I'll share more about details of, starting a business later, a nonprofit. Actually, I shouldn't call it a business, but starting a company that I want to do, buying a home, you know, real estate in general, what's going on with it. Dang, it's only been 3.5 minutes, and I feel like half of this is going to get cut anyways. I'm growing out my facial hair, as you can probably see. This is the longest I think it's ever been, but I've been maintaining it, I guess. I just take a razor with a guard, electric razor with a guard, and go over it every couple days to let it keep growing in, but keep it not getting too long. And then this is just doing its own thing, trying to grow in. But I'm normally clean shaven, so we'll see how long I let this ride for. I'm planning a photo shoot with one of my friends. Uh, he's a model, and I want to actually get in the pictures for once. And I told him we got to be clean shaven, because I have a vision of what I want to do. We're talking Vancouver waterfront, by the beach, is my idea, with either sunrise or sunset. And I want to put us in suits, no, not suits, but vests, semi-plaid vests, matching pants, tie, chessboard. And the picture in my head is us kind of sitting, one person out of focus towards the front, left of the scene, and then one person in focus sitting across from them on the other side of a chessboard that's being played. And they're, looking dapper with a nice scenic sky behind them. that's the vision. We'll see if we can make it happen. But I don't know. I'm gonna start streaming too. I think just playing games or streaming when I do play games because I play games all the time. I've taken a lot of time to. I've had my camera, which I'm talking into now. It's so hard. I want to look at myself here. I have a secondary monitor here, primary here, but camera's up there, so it's weird for me to have to look into the camera. But I've spent a long time like planning stuff like this and like trying to figure stuff out. My microphone is absolutely terrible. It's awful. I've had it for a long time. I need a new one. It says it's a dynamic, which means it and it's supposed to only take sound from the front, but it hears sound from the back too. So it's so annoying. You can hear my keyboard clicking. Listen. It's not as bad as it's been before because I went through and I added filters to the microphone, but I need to get a new one. I learned I've I've known how to hook my camera up for a while, but I was having a rolling shutter that would go top to bottom, and it was really bothering me. I could go like this at any point, and every couple seconds there'd be the shutter rolling down from top to bottom as it reads across, and if I made any movement at all, it would just distort me. Figured it out finally. Maybe I'll even make a video about that. I had to match because I stream on or I have Streamlabs OBS, and when I imported my camera, which I have a capture card to HDMI and the HDMI to micro HDMI into the camera. Then I also have a USB uh, plugged into my computer and camera directly, and that just it's a Canon, so that lets me open up the EOS utility, which basically it keeps my camera turned on so long as the program's opened. And then obviously I have a wall charger like plugged into it so it doesn't actually die. And I couldn't figure out how to do it for the life of me. Well, it turns out when you import it, you can uh, it uses device default as default, and I had to go in and turn it off of default and put I figured that the default FPS would be what I was telling the camera to send to the computer, which was like 29.97 or whatever, NTSC, or I don't know what it's called. So I did 29.97, and then I tried doubling the frame rate because I was reading ChatGPT and Gemini and Google and just Reddit, everything. It was like, oh, have your shutter speed be double the frame rate. So I was like, okay, 30 FPS, we need 60, 1 over 60 for my shutter. Did it? Didn't help. Tried 1 over 20, didn't do it. Moved to 60 FPS, didn't work. 60, and then 1 over 20 or 1 over 120, didn't work. And obviously, I'm using a kit lens on my M50 Mark II, so the aperture isn't that wide. I have a dark room. That's a window right there, but I have a magnetic like seal, I guess you want to say, around it because the light that comes in through there is crazy. This is a closet. I have a curtain up there. I literally bought a green screen too, which eventually I might get into that. I have a green screen. This is a 2-panel black curtain, so that I can like open it in the middle, get into my closet, grab whatever I need, because it's not a walk-in or anything. But I bought a single pane or single panel, whatever, like green curtain that I can hang there. I have ideas of being able to like turn the camera because it's on a like a boom arm right now. I could turn it or even just take it off the desk, put it on a tripod or something, and point it at the green screen and be able to have like a cool green screen for making videos and stuff like that. It's not very big, but we could work with it. But we'll see how that goes. But I keep getting off track. Finally found out that I just have to not trust the default from my camera to the computer. I had to go in, turn it to manual inside of Streamlabs OBS, and put it to 29.97 NTSC or whatever it is, and that completely fixed the problem. It's no rolling shutter. Obviously, it's only 30 frames. I could probably bump it up to 60, and I think the lighting would be fine. I just don't want my ISO getting super high. I think it's at, I mean, we could check. Right now, it's sitting at 4,000. It's still higher than I want it, but I'm at f3.5. So, I can't. That's wide open for the kit lens until I get like a 1.8, 1.4 or something. I'm kind of stuck with like 4,000 ISO, which you can definitely see some noise. And I know ISO doesn't cause noise. It's correlation, not causation. Simone d'Entremont, or however you say his last name. Nova Scotia. I gotta go to Canada. It's so pretty up there. But yeah, I don't like the noise. I'm originally I had a Canon 10 to 18 on there with a CPL filter. I even tried taking off the CPL because I was like, oh, maybe it's stopping light that I don't need it to stop, because it was getting the reflection off my chair and stuff, which was kind of cool, or like the glare. But with that lens on, wide open for this is 4, I believe, and I didn't even I zoomed in a little bit because this is 15. I think I even might. No, this is straight 15. This one is 4 at 10, and I was like, that's too close. So I was usually zooming that into like 13, 14, 15 around this. Sometimes I'll go to like 16. So then by then I'm at like f4.5 or like sometimes 5. So then my ISO's cranked, and I was at the point where my ISO was like 12,800, and it just was unwatchable. Like, it was terrible. So that's when I was like, let's use that lens for real estate shoots specifically, and like any other wide angle cars or whatever, especially because I have the CPL. And let's just use the kit lens. This thing's been collecting dust ever since I got this wide angle. So now the kit lens is specifically for on the desk, at this angle. And then I bought, the lighting in my room's always been terrible. I hate overhead lights. I have a lamp right here that I can probably show this. And I took a piece of printer paper and cut it because, I mean, like, that's not terrible. That's off. 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks. But I think it looks better like that. We're still getting some light coming from it because this is off. 1, 2, 3. I don't really like the glare on my desk. I think it's because I don't have the camera zoomed in like I normally would. But I think this is a lot better than that. And the overhead light is even worse. So I bought a Elonzi, can't remember the name of it exactly, but it's basically just a cold shoe. It goes in the cold shoe mount on my computer, or on my camera. God, I've been rambling for 17 or 13 minutes. It goes in the cold shoe. And at first I had it pointed at me, but it was kind of harsh and I didn't like it in my eyes. I changed the Kelvin. I changed like the power output and everything. And I still it was pretty unbearable. And I was like getting like a shine or right on my forehead. So then I just started watching videos about lighting and stuff, and it talked about, obviously it's small, I don't really have anything to diffuse it with, so it was like, bounce it, if you're in a corner or against a wall, bounce it off the wall. So I have a tapestry behind my setup right now, and then just a plain white wall right next to me. Eventually I'll like hang stuff on it, but I just turned it around and now it's bouncing off the wall and lighting me, because this is it on and this is it off. So, and it's literally not pointing at me. It's at 2700 Kelvin, 60%, and I mean it's a noticeable difference. Camera is shaking like crazy. This freaking boom arm is a piece of trash, but I don't know. I feel like every time I start a video like this. I mean, there's some on my phone. I'll upload them eventually, maybe even before this. Uh, but like track meets and stuff, after a track meet, after my U of O meet, I recorded like a 18 minute video. It's never seen the light of day. It just sits there. But it's always like I start it and I don't really know what to talk about. But then once I get it going and I get into it and I get comfortable, like I am kind of right now. I mean, I still like feel really awkward. I'm not really looking at the camera. But once I like get in the groove of talking, I can like ramble for a long time. And this is an example. Uh, because I'm a straight yapper. If someone gets on the phone with me and they ask, what's going on, how's life, tell me everything, they better clear the next week of their schedule. You know what I mean? Because I probably can fill up their whole time slot talking. But we're at 16 minutes now. It is currently 9:20. I have to go pick up my boss's husband from the airport because he needs a ride. I think he lands at 10. But I should probably leave now just in case because it's going to take me like 20 minutes to get there, park in the cell phone lot, and wait. But if you stuck around this far, I really appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful year, decade, century, millennia. You deserve it. You know, consider subscribing if you want to come along for the ride. Like the video if you enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. I don't really care. The YouTube algorithm is going to like if you like it. So leave a comment though. Let me know what's going on. I'll literally respond to every single one of them. I got nothing better to do. This is like one of my favorite hoodies. It's so cringe. Eat, sleep, trade, repeat. I got it for Christmas from my mom's boyfriend. It's comfortable and I just think it's funny, especially talking about like trading and that sort of stuff. But until next video, which hopefully isn't 5 years from now because it normally tends to be. But I think this is the time where we finally get started. I've put a lot of time and effort the past couple days into getting everything situated and getting it how I like it, getting the setup together. So hopefully this is the start of something special. So thank you. Peace out.